Hi there, it's Joy, and I'm waiting for Jake to come on, and this is Wake Up Your Badass. Welcome, friends. If you're listening to us live, let us know where you're coming in from, and if you are listening to us on a replay, let us know that as well. Hey, Bake. Today, we're going to talk about how to run effective Facebook ads. So important. There she is. Say something.
Hi.
Let's see if it worked. Oh, it worked.
It worked.
See, I'm better at this. I'm good at this.
Yeah. We went live on our. Did you say this already? We went live on our.
I didn't. Yeah.
We went live on our fan page, and I started the video. And when she came on, there was like an echo happening, and so it didn't. It ended up not working. So what we talked about on that video was like, it's okay to have things get fucked up on your video. Like it's fine. Like you can it's no big deal.
So like last week, for example, Jake put on this new social media screener thing that like tracks your social media usage, and it shut off at the time that it shut off, and so it shut the recording off, and that's what happened why you guys couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
After the 16-minute mark.
Yeah.
She'd cut herself off.
If you have an iPhone, the new update has a screen time setting, so you can like track how much screen time you're spending and like where you're spending that time. And there's an option to have a social media like timer. And so I had set like a certain time limit on how much time I could be in my social media apps. And when you're at the time, it like says your social media time is over, and you have to like either dismiss it or get out of the ad. You say like, no, I want more time. And so that popped up during our video, and when I dismissed it, it like interrupted the audio somehow, and so I couldn't get the audio back. So, but that's a really cool thing because you know, as online marketers and social media marketers, it's hard to separate because we do our business from our phones, from social media, and then we think that like when we're having our downtime, we can just scroll through and like have there be downtime, but like we get confused as to like what's actually working and what's actually just like scroll holing and wasting your time. And so being aware of how much time you're spending is really good. Like my social media time limit goes by so fast that it blows my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I've actually spent that much time on social media already. Like it's really eye-opening.
How do you decide how much time you're going to spend?
I did an hour. I put an hour, and it's on all social media platforms. So it's Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Pinterest. It's all the social media platforms. And you know, so it's like
that's not very much.
No, it's not very much. But I just started there just to like see and like to see how quickly I go through an hour in the day is like it's crazy. And so to think about like, you know, how much time we're spending overall is it's nuts. It's nutty. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't spend as much time as you do, but I do think it's really wise. I only use social media for business. I don't like really get on there and just like wander around unless I'm looking for people that I would like to make connections with. I don't just go wandering.
And a lot of times we think like on Instagram, like if we look at like Insta stories of people who are in our business, we can get like see what they're doing and like get inspiration for our work. But that's not like, don't do that. Like just like keep your eyes on your own stuff. Like, you know, don't use that excuse of like, oh, I'm like trying to learn what people are doing, because that just gets you into the scroll hole.
Well, we've talked about that before on other episodes of Wake Up Your Badass, about how you really only want to have one or two mentors that you're following, like maybe somebody inside of your parent company. If you don't have a parent company, find a parent company. Jake and I are always taking applications. But if you have someone in your parent company, there should be a mentor in your parent company, and then you want to have somebody outside. I follow like two people. We use the Elite Marketing Pro people. They're really our biggest mentors. And then there is another person on social media that I follow what she does, and I'm in her email funnel. But when I first started doing this, I got into everybody's funnel, and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. So we're actually going to talk about that today, about how the start of the funnel is your Facebook ad. And Jake said some really good things on our Jake and Joy page. Do you want to start that off?
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this as a replay, just give us a replay. If you're listening to it live, let us know where you're jumping on from. But we're happy to see you here in Wake Up Your Badass.
Yes. So last week we talked about how to create a fan page and what that looks like, and how to run and manage a fan page, and that's the first step. So if you missed that video episode, go back to last week on Wednesday and watch that, because you have to have a fan page and have it set up and have it running appropriately before you can start running Facebook ads. So that's really important. Facebook does require you to have at least 100 likes on your fan page before it lets you run Facebook ads. So, you know, share it on your personal timeline, run a likes campaign. You can YouTube how to do that. It's really super simple. But you need to be at 100 likes before you can even start running Facebook ads. Okay, so that's the first thing. And what's tough about a fan page, if you have a fan page, drop us a 1 and put a link to your fan page in the comments. Maybe someone in here, it wants to like see what you're doing on your fan page. Maybe you're gonna attract someone into what you're doing. So put your
and we'll all support you and like you. So you know, there's nothing. It doesn't cost you anything to like someone's fan page.
Yeah. So what's tempting about a fan page is that whenever you post something, there's a little button underneath that says boost, and Facebook is like trying to get you to like push that button and spend money and they'll put that post in front of people for you. You choose the demographics and you know the who you're marketing.
And it'll say things like, oh, this post is performing better than anything else you've ever posted. You're so good. You should really put some money into this.
Yeah.
Don't believe that.
Right. That is the clue. And it is very seductive. You like really want to do it because you're like, oh, I'm awesome. Let me spend money. And you are awesome. And you don't know what you're doing. So just stay away from that button for a little bit. So what the problem with that is, like, if you start dumping $20, $50 here and there into that boost button without knowing what you're doing, if you have success and you get sales or you get leads or whatever, you don't know how that happened. You don't know what it was about your app, about that boosted post that worked. So you can't duplicate it. If you don't get anything from it, then you have put money into it, nothing's happened, and now your brain, you've imprinted in your brain that doesn't work, and that you're going to put money into it, it's not going to produce anything. So it's detrimental either way before you know what you're doing. So, you know, in network marketing, we can kind of get away with like ignorance on fire, just going for it, learning as we go. Like you can just totally like take off running, and you can have success by your sheer enthusiasm and excitement, and then you can kind of learn as you go. With this, and you know, there may be other schools of thought, which is great, but my opinion is that you want to have some kind of an educational foundation for running ads before you start, even just a little bit, so that you know what you're doing and you don't just start dumping money and wasting money. So how we got started was through a little ebook called the Traction Marketing Formula, which is through Elite Marketing Pro, who's a mentorship company that we have partnered with, and we've found a lot of value out of it. And it just talks about like how do you start thinking about online marketing? How do you start thinking about like running an ad? Why is it important? What can come out of it? And it was really our jumping off place to get to where we are now. And so I really encourage you to get some education on this if you want to take on running ads. And you know, it's almost exactly a year now that we started taking on learning this, and only in the last month or two have we felt like, okay, now we sort of are starting to have a handle on it. So it really is like learning a whole new set of skills, almost like getting like a degree, you know. So you want to really take it seriously. If you're someone who's new in network marketing, or you've just been dabbling and you haven't really like taken on like getting pro at a lot of the network marketing skills, that's where you need to start. This is something, because even with this, you need to know how to do network marketing. This is still network marketing. It's just another way to get prospects into your world. So, you know, this is for someone who is really more experienced in network marketing. Maybe you've kind of mastered social media, and this is sort of the next step. So,
hey, Laura.
Hi, you guys. So, when you're looking at running a Facebook ad, it's similar to when you're writing a post for your personal page. You want to think about who it is that you're writing it for. Who's your customer avatar? We've done videos on this. Who is your avatar? Who are you trying to talk to? What are their pains? What are their needs? You have to get this person to feel so drawn to clicking on your ad that the want to click on it and to learn what you have far outweighs the want to just scroll through and to not take action, right? Because the want to take action is pretty strong. People don't really want to take action. So you have to like put it in front of them in a way that they're like, I cannot help but click this thing. I have to know what she's talking about. And it's on your personal page, people already know you, and so they're more likely to read what you have to say. On an ad, they're strangers. They don't give a shit about you. They don't know you. Like, so you have to, in an ad, you have to pull out all the stops and really hit hard. Like, why do they need to click on this ad? So you want to put your story, you're basically sharing a transformational story in your ad. That's what you're doing. You're saying, here's who I was, or here's how I was. That's just like you right now. Like, here's the pain that I was experiencing that you're probably feeling too. here's how shitty and sucky it was and how terrible I felt and how I wanted more or how I needed better health or whatever it is that you're running an ad for. And then now, where are you now? Like how are you, what's the experience now? How do you feel? How do they want to feel? How would they rather feel than how they feel right now? And then the clicking on the link is how they find out how they get to where you are now. So like, oh, I'm just like them. Like I'm just like them. And I can like have the results that they're having if I click on this link, if I click on this button. So that is like, and it has to be so emotionally charged that they're like, I have to click on this link. Like I want to know right this second. That's how you get people who are strangers to interact with what you're doing.
And oftentimes it'll be that they've seen it again and again. And I know this just from a personal standpoint, just from looking at what makes me click on an ad. And it could be something that I saw at the gym. Like I work out at a gym, and I work out at a gym that runs these ads for different things on one remote monitor. And for the last, gosh, it's been like 3 months, I've been seeing an ad for a program about getting your speaking voice better. And I've been thinking about it for a really, really, really long time. And finally, this weekend, I just like remembered how to like go to the place, and I clicked on the ad and bought the stuff, and then now I'm in their funnel. And but it's that repetition of seeing it over and over and over again, and it kind of sinks in,
Yeah, it's the exposures. Like most people don't buy off their first exposure. Sometimes I do. Like I always say like good salespeople are easily sold. Like I'm like, I gotta have it now. But there are lots of things that like, it's been multiple exposures. I've seen the same ad run, and every time I see the ad, I'm a little more likely to click on it. I'm a little more interested. And then at some point, there's like, it's the catalyst for like, I'm ready to click on the ad. So like, so that's something to think about. You want to like let an ad run for a while, and then people continue to see what it is that you're putting out there, and like have them be like in a place where they're ready to finally take action.
And hey, are you going to put a link for people that they want to see the attraction marketing formula? I did not put that link.
Sure.
So you can put it in the comments or in the.
I'll put it in the comments, so I can't edit this video in here because we don't.
Okay.
So that's the feeling that you want to be putting into your ad copy. And there's this through Attraction Marketing Formula and through Elite Marketing Pro, who we've been working with, they have courses on how do you write good ad copy. Like it's really in depth. There's lots of in-depth training. That's how we've really learned what we've done. So if you want to check that out, I'll put that link into the comments.
And the other thing that we want to talk about is that talking about these skill sets, there's skill sets to learn in so many different areas of our business. And we've been talking now for the last few weeks about like technical skills. How do you set up your fan page? How do you set up your avatar? How do you do this? How do you do that? But what we realize is that we're skipping over the mindset piece a little bit. Sometimes we go too deep into the mindset. So we're going to be shifting back, and we'll try to go back and forth a little bit between mindset, which also embodies health, because that's one of the big things that Jake and I really want to bring to entrepreneurs, is that if you are not managing your personal health, you're probably not going to have long-term success in a business. You might even become $1 million earner, but it won't sustain itself if you're not taking care of your health from the top down. Yeah. So we're going to be coming back to that next week, talking about some different mindset pieces and going back and forth. We're reading a really good book right now that a lot of you might be reading as well. So
and then he's one of the book that we're reading is he's one of the top high performance business coaches. I think he is the leading high performance business coach in the world right now, and he works with Oprah and like top CEO. That's who he works with. And a huge piece of his message is like, you got to take care of yourself, your physical health, your mental health. Like you need to be sleeping, you need to be exercising. Like he's really like, he hammers it hard because it's so true. You run into so many entrepreneurs who like, they're just like burning themselves out and not sleeping, not eating well. And they're either like they burn out or they don't, but by the time they get to where they want to be, they're so miserable. That's like, what was this even for anyway? So we'll get into that next week, but this book is awesome. If you want the title of the book, just drop us a comment. We'll be happy to share it with you. So back to Facebook ads. We're all over the place. So that's the basic ad copy kind of guidelines, just like really, in a really basic way. So you could start, if you wanted to, you could write an ad copy. You don't want to say the name of your company or your product because you won't be allowed to do that. You won't be allowed, your company will not allow you to put a name of your product or your company into an ad. They just won't if you're in network marketing. So you have to do it in a way that's not saying what it is and then creating curiosity. So if you want to try writing an ad copy, which they can also be used as a post, right? If you're not ready to write ads, try writing a Facebook post like this, put it in our group. We would love to help you and give you some tips and give you some edits and review your ad copy or your post copy. Like, we'd love to do that for you. So I think that's a great assignment for this week, actually, to take on trying to write an ad or a post in the way that we just described.
That's a great assignment.
Great assignment.
That's a great assignment.
Great assignment. So I think that's good. I think it's good for today.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Plenty.
I think it's good too.
Okay. Awesome. We will be posting in here a couple more times this week on some different things, and then we'll be back in here. We come in here every Wednesday after we do our show on our fan page. If you don't like our fan page, feel free to do that. It's Jake and Joy, and we post similar stuff as in here. We go into more in depth in here, but we also post some other stuff on there that we don't post in here. So feel free to follow both.
Yeah, and also, this is a group. So a group is really different than a page, and in a group, the value comes out of interaction. So the more you interact in this group, and that's true anywhere that you're in a group, it also brings you social proof. When you're out in front of people, it's a really great way to be in connection with people. If you're trying to build your brand, comment in the groups that you're participating in. People will want to know what you're doing, and it'll draw them to whatever you're doing. So if you're in a group, don't miss the opportunity for the exposure. It's definitely an exposure agent when you're in a group, and you want to choose the groups that you belong to that are similar in desire as what you're after. So if you get too big of a group, you get lost. So getting into a group like this and becoming kind of one of the founding fathers of it is really great, because you get to be an influencer, and then people want to know what you've got to say. So highly recommend participating. And if you want to check out Attraction Marketing Formula, it's a really inexpensive ebook. It's in the comments below. Jake, I can put it into the post.
Okay.
Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it into the post. But it is a marketing company, so they do have a special offer. It saves you $20 when you first click on it. So if you're thinking about it but you're not ready, don't click on it until you're ready, because they give you like an hour to purchase it, and it's only $27, so it's really cheap. But it does go up by $20 if you don't act within the hour. So cool. That's all we've got with Jake and Joy. This is Wake Up Your Badass, and it was so fun to be with you today. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.